SOS.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, round of applause for my next guest. We're here for a good time, not a long time. Barber, entrepreneur, no plan B, no mommy daddy money. He did it by himself, free will. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me and welcome me, my brother, Cisco, the Barber. Wow!
In the building.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're here. It's an honor and a pleasure. Long time coming. Appreciate the patience. Let's tone it down, 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 let's tone it down. Round of applause.
Turn it up. All the way up.
Round of applause.
Turn it up on that.
Round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. Round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. All right. Gather your thoughts. Think about where you want to start. All right. How does it feel?
It's good to be in the building, man. With the myth, the legend.
Yourself or me?
Both of us.
Both of us.
But no, I was talking about you, man.
The man, the myth. You think so?
Yeah.
All right. Let me get situated here. I think we're good. You like that, huh?
Hit my button, bro. Damn, they can't hear this. Fuck. Not yet.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. The real truth is, I don't know if we'll release this. I don't know if we're going to use this. I don't know if these will just be reels. I don't know if these will be out for the public. But we had to start. We had to do it. And the truth of the matter is, being in front of these cameras, I don't know why I always get cold feet. I don't know where to start. I don't know what to ask. But at the same time, we said this was not going to be like...
We're just hanging out. Just two brothers hanging out at the shop, you know? What we always do.
Talking shop. Well, for the people who are just meeting you today, you go by Javier, you go by Cisco. This is my older brother, my only brother. And I feel like we had a long time coming. We had a long time of discussing whether or not, well, actually not whether or not, but just when we were going to do an interview.
Matter of time.
It was just a matter of time, getting our ducks in a row. But for the people here that don't know you, introduce yourself, man. Let us know. Who are you?
That is the $1 million question, man. So for those of you that do know me, that are from Santa Barbara, you guys all know me by Javier. In the industry, I go by Cisco. Now, some of you may ask, where does Cisco come from? My first name, my legal name. There you go.
There you go. Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
So, what's the correct, way to address me? Whatever feels right. If you know me long enough, Javier. If you know me from the barber industry, then Cisco. But at the end of the day, I think both of them is love.
Both of them apply.
Both of them apply. I think that's an interesting topic because every time I drop off my oldest Zane, there's still a lot of teachers that work there that
they remember you,
that remember me, and I have clients, fathers that have been in the same class with me, and I remember kindergarten opening up and it's an icebreaker, right? You're next to your kid, you're going around saying your old teacher, Miss Hurtado.
Yeah.
She was like, hey, I want you guys to go around and tell us your name and who's your son and your son's name. And I remember looking at my two clients and being like, these guys know me by Cisco, and I'm about to drop it on them and be like, my name's Javier. I remember when I said that, I locked eyes with one of them and he was like,
well, who is this guy?
Who is this? Like, okay, that's cool.
Imposter.
Yeah, so then, I still have to explain that time to time, hey, I heard you're Javier at school, but in the industry you're Cisco. Like, what do I call you? I never know what to say. I'm
Whatever
like,
you want.
whatever feels natural, whatever
Yeah.
rolls off the tongue, you know?
There's no right or wrong. How did you? So Cisco, because I've had the luxury of knowing you my whole life, I got a front row seat to you going from Javier to Cisco. So why did you decide to have that pivotal moment of Javier pre-barber industry, and then you got into barbering, and I feel like that's when you made the point to say, okay, I'm going by Cisco now.
Yeah, I think I really, one of the, you're right. You're right. I did kind of start embracing the whole Cisco thing. I think it was at work. People would just, look at the legal paperwork and then it said Francisco, but I've been Javier my whole life, and I felt like Francisco was my dad. And I mean, even dad, they don't call him that,
Yeah.
But I just started going by Cisco, and then once I was in the barber industry, I think going to, I guess we'll get into it later, but I ended up going to barber school in Orange County, and then right there we're talking social media and like marketing yourself, and that's when I was like, shit, I need to figure something out now, and like, what am I gonna name myself? And I was just very like, it's life or death. I wasn't thinking the way I'm thinking now, where I'm like, I could always rebrand or like rename myself, but everybody just really liked. I had really good positive feedback with Cisco, and I was like, Cisco the barber. Then it's never
stuck.
changed. It's just stuck. And then I knew that once the local boy came back to Santa Barbara, once again nobody here knows Cisco. They just know Javier.
Yeah.
So then once I started going by Cisco and marketing myself, and I had the local friends, family, they're like, Cisco, ¿quién es Cisco? Well, me.
Yeah.
But now it's funny because our cousins and like even mom be like, Cisco, ven pa acá, or like Luigi will call Cisco, like, so I feel like it's
That's funny.
it just kind of, people kind of shifted
They
to the whole
gravitated
Cisco,
towards
it's
it,
just gravitated towards that name just because business. And but at the end of the day, like I said, if you call me Javier, I know how long you've known me. You call me Cisco, still probably know you a good amount of time, but it's just I met you through a different phase in life, I guess.
Yeah, at a different point. Well, congratulations. We're coming up on a full year, close to a year. We're probably about 8 months ish.
8 months, 4 months away.
Being in ownership of Danny's Barbershop for almost a full year. And you know what that costs for, right? A little round of applause. And a little bounce, if you will. Yeah. All right, so within that year, almost year mark, we're at a short 8 months, but we're almost a year into you now going from a few things, right? Going from being a barber in barbershops, right? So working at other barbershops in Santa Barbara, which, there's a handful there. You then went into opening your own suite where there's one barber chair, working solo, having your own book of business to support yourself. And then now growing your operation to 4 chairs where you work with multiple barbers, you oversee the whole operation, and you basically make the decisions top to bottom for everything that surrounds the barbershop. What has been the biggest difference between being like a barber in a barber chair, you just have booth rent to worry about, to now you have a full-blown brick and mortar location to worry about? What were some of those added responsibilities that you didn't see as a booth rent barber per se?
I mean, I feel like a lot of them imply with being just a barber and being the barbershop owner, in the sense of, I don't know, I've it took me, my journey to get here. So I've worked in a decent amount of different shops to get different ideas, and that's why I'm here now. I felt like I know what I'm doing now. Like I know how to apply that.
Yeah.
But so I guess it really just depends on what type of shop you want to run. But I mean, I've been at barbershops where we have our own bathroom and the shop owner is like hey, you know, one week you clean, the next week this person. You know, I've been at barbershops where we have a cleaning lady. We don't have to touch the bathroom. So there's just a lot of different ways of running it. But I mean, as far as taking ownership and what kind of things have shifted, I mean, besides, you know, more money, more problems, you know, I have to take care of the rent, I have to take care of, you know, the utilities, the common like things that a business person would take, you know, but everything else has just been, like I said, second nature. Like I think what was a little cheat code for me was opening up that suite, right? It gave me
100%.
like it gave me a small, or the way I say it is, you know, I took a step in that direction of, I knew I wanted to open up a business, like a shop one day.
Yeah.
Not buy one, but I thought I was just going to start from scratch. And right there, I did that. You know, I just rented, can't even remember. I think it was 110 square feet. So
Oh, wow.
it wasn't huge, but it was just enough space. You know, I had my little wash bowl, my station, and I had a little couch in there. And like, it was a vibe in there. It was a vibe.
It was
Everybody
cool.
that's been there and stuff, you know, you guys know how cool that spot was. A lot of my clients were like, bro, you want to get out of here? Like, this is so dope. It's private. Like,
Yeah.
but that wasn't my vision. That was just, once again, taking a step in this direction. And so I already kind of molded myself like, all right, I have to wash my towels. Like, shit, I'm going to have to wash towels for everybody,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
Just cleaning the barbershop. You know, we had a cleaning lady. She was great, but once again, being like not a first time business owner, but just having my own space, I don't know, I just felt like I take pride in like my shop, and I just feel like right now I can take care of it myself, and then maybe later down the line maybe hire somebody again. But
It's your pride and joy right now.
I love what I do. I love everything I do. So yeah, like I said, some of the things is just, you know, besides the most common things, is just, you know, washing the towels, making sure that I mean, we have a lot of mirrors in here, so I'm pretty like, you know, about that, because this is a public area, right? I mean, we serve the public, so for people to walk in here and see handprints on the mirrors, or like our station's all hairy, what does that say about us? You know, what does that say about our tools and sanitation? And I'm just really big on that. It just shows, you know, what kind of shop you are. You know, I've had clients come in here and they're like, man, I went to this other shop and there was hair everywhere, whatever that meant. But your shop, it's clean, like your stations. So it's a really important, you know, thing for me to keep it tip-top shape and, you know, kind of make sure that all my barbers are all on the same page. You know, if we can all do our part, it's a little easier for everybody, you know, easier on myself for now.
Yeah. I feel like this location too is like really unique. I feel like
it's money.
The location for most really anything, but I think your barbershop is in a prime location. I mean, not only do you have your own parking, which is a game changer, right? We've all been to a barbershop where you have to park a few blocks away, or there's no dedicated parking lot or whatever it might be. So aside from that, I just think it's centrally located in Santa Barbara, and it attracts so many different people. And the fact that Danny's Barbershop has its own legacy.
Yeah.
I think that's one of the things that just...
65 years, bro, it's been here.
Yeah.
So I think this was the first or one of the first businesses in this shopping center. Like, it was still under development.
Oh, wow.
So I was here before Harry's. I think Harry's has been here 60 years, or maybe a little less. We're here 65. So, yeah, it's pretty crazy, man.
So coming into this interview, I feel, or not even an interview, it's just a sit down, two brothers just chatting it up. But I feel like you have like this, I feel like there's a lot of good information that when you and I get to talking and we're just chopping it up, I'm like, wow, if I wanted to be a barber, I feel like I would be in such a good place, because you have all of the knowledge, you have all the answers, and you could cut the learning curve. So I don't know, how do I say, where do we start? Do you want to start with school? Do you want to start with your overall journey? Maybe what we could do is zoom out, go with how you started, and then as you went on your journey, like what you learned, what you picked up on, and then from there you can go on your tangents a little bit and see if
start from, you know, square one. I guess that'd be a good starting point.
So where did you how did the thought of even just like, hey, I want to be a barber, I want to cut hair for a living, I think that'll suit me well. How did that even pop into your head?
I was living on my own. I was renting a room, going to City College, if I remember right. It got hard, I was working 2 jobs, and I was having, I don't know, 60-hour weeks, I think. I was working 11 p.m. to 7 a.m. I had 2 hours to get to my next gig, start from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. And then people would ask me, when do you sleep? I'm like, I don't. I nap.
Yeah.
I just take a nap. I don't sleep. And then...
so this is why you were going to college?
Yeah, so... Yeah, I mean, I think it's safe to say when you go to college, not everybody knows what you want to do. So I think I was like a comm major, but then I was like, that's too broad. Like, what do I want to do with that?
Yeah.
And then from there, I was like, maybe nursing. Like, I love, taking care of people and like the blood and all that stuff,
Yeah.
But it's a lot of schooling. And then, once I kind of decided to take a break, I was like, fuck, what else can I do? Like, what can I do that takes little to no school, but puts me in a better place, better situation instead of working so damn much. And like, I just felt like I wasn't making that much.
Yeah. For the hours you were putting in.
So I think I just kind of kept thinking. And then I have 2 buddies from elementary that, I don't know, they just kind of stood out, and they're both barbers. And I feel like one is just more on the like relaxed side. He's like, I'm my own boss. Like, I'm going to go in when I want, leave when I want. And I just kind of analyzed his lifestyle, and I was like, damn, like, you have a nice car, you take trips here and there. Like, he lived a comfortable life for his hustle,
Yeah.
And then I had another buddy that was like really ambitious, and he'd, be the first one in, last one to leave, work holidays. And, I kind of analyzed his lifestyle. He had a nice car. He'd go on, more trips. I don't know. I could see his lifestyle was just a little, not flashier, just like he wasn't comfortable. He was able to do more shit that he wanted to.
Yeah.
So I was like, shit, what if I never ever was inclined to be a barber? I wasn't like, I want to be a barber when I leave,
Yeah.
So I remember I went to Paul Mitchell when it was here, and I just want to go get a tour. I just said,
That's right.
I'm going to go see what they have to offer, how much it is. And I just remember at the end of it, I was like, oh, this is kind of cool. And the lady was like, hey, you have until this date to sign up. If you miss that date, you have to wait like X amount of time to sign up again.
Yeah.
And I remember I just told her, I was like, no, let's sign up now. Like,
so you knew the second the deadline was like potentially start now, or like 6 months down the line or 3 months down the line, you knew it was like, okay, I got to do it now.
I just knew myself, and I knew how much I work and how I tired I can get at times. And I was just more afraid of myself being like, nah, like, I don't need to do that, or like just making an excuse. So I just figured if I did it right then and there, I have a start date, not a sign up by date. So it's just kind of pushing myself like, all right, cool, well, you're in, and I don't know, I'm not a quitter, I just figured if I'm going to start it, I'm going to finish it.
Yeah.
Once again, I never, ever had cut hair, never thought about it. Even one of my buddies that I spoke to about barbering, were like, I was giving him props, you're doing your thing. And he's like, I don't know what I told him. I said something like, damn, bro, like that's still, or I think I was talking to him about like, why not finishing college or something. He's like, school's not for me, bro. Like, it's for you, because I was still going. But it's dope that he recognized that and was like, hey, like, that shit's not for me.
Yeah.
But he picked up barbering like earlier than me. He's probably 18 or so. I didn't pick it up till I was 25, turning 26.
Yeah.
Which is,
Still really
barbering's
young.
never late. Like,
Yeah.
honestly,
Still pretty young.
I went to school with like, I don't know, 40-year-old. I mean, once again, I was 25, turning 26. You can pivot. Barbering's such a dope career, man. It's just really how bad you want it, and just putting your mind to it. I mean, you really got to want it, because obviously if you have like a family to feed and stuff, and like you have a reliable job, but you fucking hate it and you want to become a barber, it's really going to be hard. But where there's a way, there's a will.
Where there's a will, there's a way. Excuse
There you
me.
go.
Where there's a will, there's a way.
That's what I meant. Yeah, so I say that to this day, it's like one of the best decisions and one of the best decisions I've made in life, right?
Yeah.
Because it set me up where I'm at. Like, it was just the perfect timing when I decided to do that. But
What is barber school like? Because to my understanding, there's a few different ways you could go, right? Like, so there's like
Yeah.
the regular, what we'll call full-time route. You go pretty much beginning of the day, you go through like afternoon, early afternoon, and then you pretty much have the evening to go work or whatever. And then you could also go part-time, from my understanding, right?
yeah, it just takes longer. I don't know. I was just hella committed. Like I said, at that time, I had no kids. I was single. I was just like, I'm going to do it full force. Once again, I was just, my mindset was just, I'm going to become a barber and I'm going to do it. And that became my priority. Everything else was going to come around that. So when I started barber school here in town, Santa Barbara, and then I shit you not, bro, two months in, it closed. And it was the weirdest shit. They called everybody into the auditorium and like, you know, pretty much just dropped it on us. Like, hey, we're closing. And we're all like laughing, like, yeah, right. Like, Paul Mitchell has a shit ton of money. What do you mean you're closing?
Yeah.
But then some of the teachers started crying. We're like, oh, fuck, like, you're being serious.
Shit.
So it closed. And then long story short, they were pretty much like, you guys can either drop out at no cost, because we're pretty much telling you guys you're done. Or if you guys transfer to another Paul Mitchell, if it's more expensive, we'll honor the tuition here.
Oh,
So a few people that I knew wanted to go to the flagship school of Paul Mitchell in Orange County.
okay.
And I don't know why my crazy ass was just like, me too. Because we knew that there was teachers there that were, you know, they would travel around the world and teach. So we had like the best barber instructor. And once again, with that being said, because I know there's going to be barbers watching this and stuff, like it doesn't make you the best barber.
Yeah.
Like, I could have gone to fucking Lou Ross 45 minutes
And
still done what I did.
yeah.
But I think I just got used to having the whole, I don't know, like the Paul Mitchell experience. It's nice. You know, you had to wear a dress up shirt and a tie to play the part. And like they I don't know. I think that's also why, to me, it's a big deal to have a barbershop where we all just dress nice. You know, like you can't come in a t-shirt or not here, but any barbershop.
Yeah.
You know, you can do that. But it also is just, I don't know.
It's like a
you know,
restaurant.
it's just the vibe. It's just the
like a
vibe
restaurant.
you give. You know, you want to, and it doesn't mean you can't dress casual and still charge top dollar. Like,
Yeah.
you can do that. But for me, I'm like, I like to play the part. I like to make people feel comfortable and like, oh, I can trust this guy.
Yeah.
Not
Contribute
like,
to the ambiance
shit, is
of
this
the
homie
shop.
gonna mug me? You know? But
Why is that so important to you, you think?
I've you know what? I've tried to ask myself that before, but I don't know. I just,
Where did you pick up on that, you think? Where was that influence given to you, provided?
I don't, maybe mom and dad, I don't know.
Yeah. So just from the
just-
beginning, you knew. I
Yeah,
think
just-
also from the outside looking in, you know, maybe from working at multiple barbershops, right? Like, I feel like you got a chance to see what the environment and what, you know, the vibe was, you know, at this barbershop, at that barbershop. And all of them had different aesthetics, for the lack of a better word, right?
Yeah.
Different clients too. And you probably just saw what each one brought. And again, not to say one was better than the other,
Yeah.
but it just was different.
Yeah, I mean, trust me, I would love to just get up, throw on a t-shirt and go to work and that's it, you know, like I have to iron my shirts and, you know, but I also knew that I didn't want a barbershop that was like, you got to have a tie and you got to like, that's, you know, there's some shops that do that too. And like, that's awesome.
Yeah, but it's not for you.
But it's also just not for me. I feel like for me, it's just, I think I have that medium. Like, I just want my barbers to wear a nice collared shirt, to say the least.
Yeah.
You know, if you're a female, maybe just a nice like business top, or like if not a collar. But I know there's some like cute girl like collared shirts that they could wear. Then
Yeah.
I'm pretty lax on like the bottom half. Like you don't have to wear slacks. Like you want to wear jeans. You want to, you know, your shoes also like just wear something comfortable.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've worked at a few different ones where you could just wear t-shirts, or you know, the shop owner would just hook you up with like the barbershop t-shirts that you can wear to work, and
Like the
it's
smocks,
awesome.
or-
Yeah, no, not smocks, just like regular t-shirts.
okay,
you know,
okay.
and like that's cool. Like I said, but here it's the way we carry ourselves and stuff. Like I don't even see it as a uniform. Like I don't get to work and throw on my collared shirt. You know,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
I put that on at home and I come to work, and when I leave on lunch, I'm wearing it. I don't
Right.
take it off. It's not a uniform. It's how we dress, I guess. You
Yeah.
know, it's a lifestyle. Is the way I see it.
Yeah. How has it been now with you've had the ability to work with, I think, multiple different barbers here and Danny's, but let alone I think just in the industry as well. Like what are some things that you see, some trends that you see in more established barbers and then newer barbers coming in? What do you think the big differences are? Like where is like a gap and a disconnect between the two?
There's a lot of these barbers that are wanting to be a barber because they see other flashy barbers on social media, like flaunt all this money and like look
Yeah.
at my Mercedes, and that's cool. But what they don't understand is there's more to that.
Yeah.
Like there's and this, since they're so new, they're barely learning these things, and you got to get in the trenches before you even get there. Like you're not making that kind of money straight out of barber school. It's just not going to happen. The only, and this is the thing, like you don't know this early on, but the cheat code, if that's what you want, is literally practicing like some of my friends did. You know, they picked up a clipper and they were already cutting hair, like fucking up some homies here and there, and
Yeah.
you know, didn't even know how to use shears, but they already knew they wanted to be barbers. So when they went to barber school, they already, because that's the other thing, barber school doesn't teach you, like you don't get out of barber school being a professional once again. Like they teach you basics and sanitation, and half the time a lot of the barbers don't even really pay attention. Like we're just there to fucking get the hours.
Right.
Sadly enough.
Yeah.
But I picked up on that early on in school, to where I really tried to pay attention. You know, I tried to take advantage and sit in color classes that were for cosmetologists, because, you know, I'm interested in that. And I mean, to this day, that's how I learned how to like bleach and stuff like that. You're not really taught that. But I was like, this is the time I'm going to get shit for free, because once I'm out, I have my license now. Like, guess what? I have to pay for like a color class now, or which is still cool. You know, it's still good to have like little refreshers like that. But to get back to that question, yeah. So the gap I'd say is, you know, the rookie barbers coming in and like not being ready to put in the work. It's easy to get discouraged and going to a shop, and then you have no haircuts for the day, or you have 3 for the day because there's not that many walk-ins, and then they don't know any better, and they want to be like, well, you're the shop owner, you're not bringing clients. And it's like, bro, like that doesn't work that way. Like you're an independent contractor. Now if it was different and you were like an hourly paid barber, right, that's once again a different agreement. But now you're getting paid minimum wage most likely, and you're keeping your tip, and when it is busy, you're getting a big pay cut. And then that's why they invented commission, right? The commission barbers. And to me, it's funny. Old school barbers say that commission barbershops are the best because that's where like you strive and like you make a lot more money. But I also feel like that's a way to have lazy barbers, because if they're not that busy or they just want to do minimal work, they're like, well,
I could just chill.
And I can go vacay and not owe money because I'm not in the shop.
Right.
But something about having them pay just a flat fee And this is where old school barbers are like, oh, you won't, as a shop owner, you won't make that much money because you're just, the shop could be thriving.
Yeah.
And then you're not tapping into that money. But the way I see it, I want you to work, make your money. Like,
Right.
But that's why I don't know. So talking shop rent, booth rent, like cheap is probably like $200 a week.
Locally or just in general?
I'm gonna say locally because I know I've seen barbers that I follow across town and stuff. Some spots pay like $100 a week, 150, and
No telling where
that's
they
like
are, right?
yeah. But it also depends on like what state there are, like how much haircuts are.
Yeah.
But then I'd say expense. I've heard some shops be at like $450 a week, and if you really think about it, I mean, you would divide how much haircuts cost into that, and then they're asking you for X amount of haircuts a week. You should be doing more than that.
Yeah.
So I think you just gotta go where you fit in. You get me? Like according to like if you want to be a commission barber starting off, it's not a bad idea. But for me, even just out the gate, I was just I already had another job. Like I once I got my license and I moved back, I just kind of went back to what I knew. I started working same thing, 11 p.m. to 7 a.m. I'd sleep a little and then I'd go into the shop and work 12 to 6, 12 to 7.
Yeah.
To perfect my craft and, shake hands. And then once I felt like, I think I got this, that was the scariest moment of my life. Because I was like, I'm about to cut my source of income and go full force in barbering,
How did you make that gradual decision to stop? Because what you were saying is you were working 2 jobs, I guess, at some point when you just started working, right? So you were going into a barbershop on the second half of the day, and then you were also then going to your day job, right? Your 9 to 5 to actually get you a check in the scenario where you didn't get enough clients to support yourself.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it was tough because I was just over. I was working hospitality. I went back to hospitality and I was working at the Hilton. And it was just getting tough working every holiday. And, I kind of just got over the whole, like, I have to ask to get this time off.
Or you only have 2 weeks off.
You only have 2 weeks off. And then seeing how the barber game is, how, like, a barbershop owner is your boss, but isn't your boss. You get me? Like they're there to guide you. The shop has rules, and it's pretty simple. Either you obey those rules that the shop has to have the shop running smooth, or you just find another shop that fits your lifestyle. Right?
Yeah.
There's shops that don't care what time you come in, what time you leave. There's there's a little bit of everything for everybody. But what I've found out is you have to have a barbershop owner that's present and involved, because then there's always clean towels, things are clean. When they're not that involved, that's where the barbershop's slacking. And then that's when the employees, the barbers, aren't really doing what they have to do, or they stop being respectful, or they start playing music that's like not really, like, I'm for it, right? Like I always say you gotta read the room, right? If it's a bunch of young people here, we're alone, sure, drop some Biggie, some Tupac.
Yeah.
But the minute a lady walks in or kids, it's like, bro, switch it up.
Gotta clean it up.
Play some reggae, play some,
Got to.
play something different,
Yeah, absolutely. Going back onto the initial question, right? So we were talking about like the older barbers and the newer generation of barbers coming in. And you made a point about, well, there's a lot of younger barbers that go into a barbershop and say, I'm expecting to be fully booked all day because I'm assuming that the barbershop owner just has it like that. But the truth of the matter is you come out of, I think it's almost relatable to college these days. Like you come out of school with a degree from the university, you come out of barber school with the license that says, hey, I know how to stay clean. I know how to cut your hair. I've put in X amount of hours, makes me qualified or certified to cut your hair.
Yeah.
And in a barbershop. But then you kind of have that, I don't know, that delayed gratification of not being super busy the second you're out. So when you have a new barber and you're working with them and they're not as busy as they want to be, what would you encourage them to do?
Honestly, I feel like social media is just so big. Like, it's everywhere. I mean, you see it with the whole, like, everything from, like, the president or just, you know, figuring out trips and just anything. You can go to Instagram, you can go to TikTok, and you can learn how to be a barber. You can, I mean, YouTube can literally teach you anything.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I have a new barber right now. She's been in the game for a year, you know, so it's kind of crazy when the first time I was told I'm like that I'm an OG, and I was like, an OG, but like shit, I've been doing this pretty damn close to 10 years, and
Yeah.
I feel like I just blinked and now I'm there, you know. But this new barber that I have, her name is Jessica. She's a great asset to the barbershop. You know, she's new to the game as far as cutting hair and how she can get busy, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And it is such a great feeling trying to guide her and like giving her advice. Hey, look, you should try to get online booking. You don't have it. She got it. And then we started making posts, putting them on the barbershop Instagram. I think within, to say the least, within the first week, I think I got her like 3 appointments.
Oh, there
and she was kind of like, what? Who booked me already? And then we figured it out, and I was like, oh yeah, she got them through the barbershop.
Yeah.
So cool, that worked. I told her, we got to get her business cards, and actually, I'm not sponsored, but I should be sponsored. Have you heard of the dot card?
Yeah. Yeah, I like those.
So the dot card was such a great investment for myself because I think I paid like $20.
I was going to say, they're pretty cheap.
$20. It comes with like a cool little profile that you can edit, and they make it super easy to edit from the color, the font. They tell you like what links you can add. And I tell her it looks so cool to tap somebody's phone on your wallet.
Yeah.
Like right now, the way I have it set up, my wallet's in my pocket. I could just grab somebody's phone and tap it without having it. I used to take my phone out and do all, and then I figured out you don't even have to do that. And it looks so cool. People are like, what? What is that? Yeah, it just makes you stand out.
Yeah.
So those are some of the key things that I try to advise her, social media, business card, aka the dot card. Like I said, I technically don't have to make business cards anymore, and it goes straight to their phone. Obviously, the old school method still works, because it's presentation, the logo, but then you have to worry about having enough. Or sometimes clients come back, hey, I lost the last one. Can I get another one?
Yeah.
And it's the name of the game. But definitely, what not to do was not come into the shop and sit down and be on your phone when you have no type of clientele.
Yeah.
And just wait for a walk-in. Like, if there's nobody in your chair, you're new to the industry, you should be outside walking the street, walking the shopping center, or I don't know, talk to the business owner. Hey, like, what else can I do? Or
Yeah.
because I remember I was telling Jessica the other day, when I first started, and I was in her shoes, the barbershop owner was like savage with me. I'd be sitting down and they'd be like, you know how to cut hair? Like, you know everything?
Yeah.
What do you mean? Yeah, do you know how to do a taper comfortably? No. Then why aren't you watching me cut hair?
Oh, wow.
I'm like, oh shit, yeah. Like, but
So
it's
that's
easy.
tough love, huh?
Yeah, it's easy to get in that funk of like,
I already know.
I already know. But when you're doing it, you're fucking taking an hour on a taper, on a fade plus.
Yeah.
So it's little things like that all matter, And it's funny also hearing her be like, you make that look so easy. I'll tell her, do the haircut, and then if you need help, let me know.
Yeah.
I'll come. I already know just looking at the haircut what guard I need. I need the half. And she'll say, dang, you make that look so easy. I used to tell my buddy that.
Yeah.
Bro, how did you do that? Like, you make that look so easy. I just want to be good. So hearing her tell me that, it's humbling because I'm like, damn, I feel like even as a professional, or as an OG, I guess how people say it, you still come across tough clients or, you know, tough hair to cut, you know, whether it's really thick or really coarse or uneven, but you just know how to like maneuver yourself.
Yeah,
You know, you know how to move with the clippers, you know, but when you're so new, it's just, you get stuck. And then all of a sudden you're in one spot for 30 minutes and you're not even halfway through the haircut.
Let's move on to money. Money in the barber industry.
Dun, 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 dun.
I feel. Hold on, man. Hold on. Wake it up out there. Wake it up out there. Wake it up out there. Wake it up.
Wake it up.
Make sure everyone's still with us there. Money in the sense of. Well, actually, I don't know. I guess I could use your help here.
What sense on money? Just being smart with money, or how you make money, or
great. There you go. Thank you. Yes, that's what it was. Exactly.
I think I know what you mean. It's not so much. I think the question is not how you make money, but how you save money, how you stack money. Because, I mean, it's obvious how barbers make money, right? We cut hair, but I think also part of the way of how we make money, to answer that, like, obviously, it's also the service, right?
Yeah.
Once again, how I said it earlier, how can I make myself stand out from the next barbershop, right?
Yeah.
Especially, I mean, just about anywhere you go, we're overpopulated, or oversaturated, I should say.
Yeah.
But I don't feel threatened by anybody. Why? Because I feel like as the barbershop owner, or even just as a barber, you always want to say you're the best. Why would you not credit yourself?
Yeah.
But I think that's also where we lack. It's like there's a lot of barbershops in town. Like, they're not all the best, but we all got to say that. You get me?
Yeah.
But
See what you're saying.
but besides that, I want to say it comes down to the service. I mean, right here, our slogan is elevating your grooming experience, right?
Yeah.
So me working at different barbershops, I know like what every shop does as far as haircuts.
Yeah.
Do they massage? Do they do this? Do they do that? Okay, when they do just a basic beard trim, how much effort goes into that? Do they do cold gel that they just put on and just so they can get by real quick? Do they take their time and use hot lather? Does your basic beard trim come with a hot towel?
Yeah.
So things like that, I feel like is where I knew I wanted to better our service, to try to charge a little more than the average barbershop, you know? So like for our haircuts, I mean, I want to make sure that we all have quality haircuts, you know? Quality is a big one. Besides quality, it's more, what's that word?
Consistency.
Because doing it as long as I've been doing it, you know, I feel like clients can fluctuate, you know? Like you can have a loyal client all of a sudden switch up on you for whatever reason, right? There's A through Z. But when I take other people's clients, the two main red flags I hear from their barber is that they're inconsistent, or they've been great. They've been going to them for X amount of time, but there's just times where they just feel like they're not doing their best, right? And, you know, at the end of the day, you're paying 40, 50, 60 bucks. I mean,
Yeah.
it's money, you know. It's more than the average person makes in an hour. We make it in 30 to 40 minutes.
Yeah, that's actually a good point.
You know, a beard trim, you know, once again, most barbershops, man, once again, depending where you're at a neighborhood barbershop, you're at a high end. Most shops just either use a little bit of shaving gel and just get it done. And I understand, right? They're charging, I'm going to say a basic beard trim at most shops is going to be anywhere from like 55 to about 60, 65 bucks.
Okay.
And we charge 70 at our shop, but that's haircut and beard, and all of our basic beard trims come with a hot towel.
Yeah.
So it just makes them feel a little more special, a little more pampered. Yeah, there's the occasional client that's like, oh, I'm good on the hot towel. They're like,
I don't want it.
They don't want it. they're not like, oh, but you're gonna get like, are you gonna hook me up with like a discount? Like we still charge the same amount. It's just what comes with it.
It's the service, yeah.
But so yeah, so that those are some key points as far as like how we make money, right? Like you want to differentiate from other barbershops so you can charge accordingly. And it doesn't mean you have to do extra. To like if you're okay with charging what you're charging with the basic stuff, that's cool. Like there's clients for every barbershop, like there's barbershops for every client.
Right. Yeah,
Once again, you just got to go wherever you fit in, you know?
Yeah.
Some barbershop, like I remember when I moved from one shop to another, one was a little, like seemed a little more high end than the other, right? And I lost some clients and they're like, oh, that shop just seems like too bougie for me. And I'm like, what? Like, nah, it's for everybody. Like anybody can come. We were charging about the same, maybe a little more, but it wasn't that crazy difference. But to get back on that question also, besides how we make money, I want to say the big stereotype that barbers fall in is that a lot of barbers don't look good on paper or don't know how to save money. Why? Because, you know, some barbers make $500 a day, $600, you know, more or less. It just depends on, I always say it depends on your ambition, on your hustle. But then what happens? They go downtown, there goes $400, what they made for the day. Next Saturday, shit, I made X amount of money. But then, you know, let's go get these pair of Jordans for $250. Yeah. Now you have you know, it just really depends on your saving, man. Because I don't know, we're in the 21st century where if you're not woke at this point in life with your finances, like what are you doing? Like you can't just be making all this money but be shit on paper.
It does amaze me the amount of people now, especially as I start getting a little bit older and, you know, you reconnect with people and stuff. It does amaze me at the rate that people are not familiar with their finances and, you know, don't really know whether or not they're investing, what they're investing in, how they're investing, and what the future looks like. What are some good habits that, you know, you mentioned Jessica being here now, but what are some of those good habits that you would try to instill? You don't want to like big brother them or you know, tell them what to do, but what would you encourage a young barber to make sure they're doing, to make sure that like financially they stay consistent?
I was gonna say obviously to not get into like financial debt, but I mean it's not obvious to people because once again,
unfortunately,
like I used to think, and everybody, I mean, you know, everything can be contradicting, right? I know somebody can hear what I'm saying and be like, well, but if you have a new car, you don't have to worry about it being unreliable, right? Because you have a maintenance plan or whatever.
Right.
What I'm getting at, like, stack money right now.
Right.
Don't get into financial debt that you don't necessarily need right away.
Yeah.
That's one. Obviously, save money. It's easier said than done, but you have to, especially we're a high cash revenue job, right? Like, especially now after COVID, a lot of people are like, dang, you carry cash? I can't remember the last time I carried cash, but excuse me. You know, we still get paid with a lot of cash, and it's easy to spend it. I do stocks. I mean, there's just so many ways nowadays that you can get life insurance.
Yeah.
I know you're saying about like how does a barber save, but I feel like it
applies to everyone. It's pretty universal.
To everybody.
It's pretty universal.
Everybody. I don't know. Getting off topic a little bit. I mean, we're Latinos. You know, our parents were immigrants, man, and we're blessed to already be in this position that we're in.
Clap it up. Clap it up. Clap it up. You know what? Had to. Anyway, say that again, man. Go ahead and drop that bar real quick.
You know, we're Latinos, we're Hispanic. You know, our parents immigrants, and they brought us here for one reason only, and that's just for a better lifestyle. They weren't really focused on like learning finances or how can we set up our kids to have a perfect 800 credit score by the time they're 18. And they just came out here knowing, hey, like we're going to hustle and we're going to do everything in our power to make sure our kids succeed.
Yeah.
So now we're at, you know, we have a social, we have we had better schooling, all of these things to be where we're at. And now, you know, thankfully to be here, you'd be doing yourself and your parents how do you say it? Disservice to not want to
continue that,
to want to learn more, to want to, you know, learn more about, you know, taxes or just all that good stuff. Like you have to,
yeah.
I don't know, like for me having kids now, right? Like I have all walks of life sit in my chair. I have lawyers, I have business owners, restaurant owners, everything. And I pick at their brain. You know, sometimes, you know, I've had conversations with people and they'll tell me, oh yeah, like these certain credit cards allow you to have your child be on there.
Yeah.
And then just continue doing your payments on time. And that helps boost their credit score by the time they're 18.
Yeah, I don't know what credit card that is. I don't know.
Some of them are like 12, 13, a little later. But
yeah.
Other people that have parents that are immigrants didn't do stuff like that. But you being woke and doing that for your kids or just to just make more revenue, right? I think it's an old school way. I guess what I'm trying to say is an old school way to think of saving money.
Yeah.
Saving, putting it in the bank, you get what, like 0.01% or something?
Depends where it is, but it's pretty low. Yeah.
It's slow.
Pretty low.
So I think it's more about trying to invest the money.
Yeah.
You know?
Making it work for you.
Go gamble or something. You know? Part-time.
Horrible, ladies and gentlemen. Don't do that.
No, not gamble. That's one way to really fuck it all up, especially if you're addicted to that. But
yeah, we can't.
Little gambling can make you a little money. You know, I know there's a lot of guys out there playing.
That's why I feel like as I've gotten like a little bit older too, I really adopted that slogan in life, like learn at your leisure, right? Because I feel like as you get older, there are a lot of things that you have to pick up and understand and comprehend fully, especially investing. I think investing is one of those things, and finances in general is one of those things that can be really daunting when you think about tasks, when you think about 401ks, IRAs, Roth IRAs, whatever it may be. I think a lot of those things can be really scary for people, and just taking the time to sit down with someone that understands it, or on YouTube University, or whatever it might be, it's really, really important, and it makes all the difference. And I agree. I think that being a first generation individual, let alone a business owner, I think comes with its own learning lessons. But I guess kind of perfect segue to my next question of, you know, owning a business, going back to the beginning of where we started, is, you know, almost 8 months into ownership of Danny's, coming up on a full year. What are some things that you wish maybe you knew before buying a barbershop? Doesn't have to be good, doesn't have to be bad, but just something that comes to mind. But what are some things that maybe you could share with the audience that might look into ownership, entrepreneurship, and something that maybe you wish you knew before you came into ownership of a full-fledged barbershop? And maybe there's no difference. Maybe for you, you're like, you know what's pretty similar to a studio. But maybe that's the better question for you, because you jumped from barbershop to a studio first. So you kind of had that, you dipped your toes in the water a little bit before you went off the deep end. Yeah. But what are some of those things, some of those bumps and bruises that you think you got before coming to Danny's, going to the studio, that you wish maybe someone could have told you before?
I just put my mind into something and I'm going to do it. I'm going to figure it out. And I made it happen, but like knowing what office to go get this paper and going what website to go and do this, like you're kind of like Googling and, you know, maybe asking.
What papers are you referring to?
Just like your DBA or, you know, like you have to do your, I'm blanking out, but you have to have a license to sell product and stuff, and it all just comes down to money, you know. It's just 100%. Them trying to get their percentage of it too, but yeah, little things like that. And I think like the bigger things I wasn't really too worried about, like, or like scared, like am I going to be able to pay the rent? Like I said, that's why I started so small. Like I was already used to shop rent, weekly rent. Like barbershops, you pay rent every Saturday. When I went into my suite, I asked them, can I do weekly rent instead of monthly? And they're like, yeah. And it's just what I was used to. I could have done monthly, but I'm just like, I'd rather just pay every week and then you should already, once again, you can't do that so early on, right? I feel like once again, rookies see these studio barbers, they're charging $100, they're charging $150. It's doable. Don't get discouraged, but it took a long time to get where they're at, or they're in LA where you have all kinds of different people. Here, location. It depends where you're at. It also depends who you're marketing to. And once again, that's why social media is a big thing, because and the way you dress. You can't market higher end clientele if you're thinking or looking a certain way, you know? You just can't. You think I'm going to be able to charge $70 for a haircut and beard if I'm not throwing in that hot towel?
Yeah.
If I'm not having the warm lather on the face, like everybody says it. Oh, what is that? It feels nice. I know shops that don't do that or don't even have a hot towel warmer, and it's cool. That's their vibe. Like they're not charging that much. They're just wanting, you know, they're comfortable. And once again, there's no right or wrong. It's just whatever you want to charge and whatever you want to provide, you know?
Yeah. I think it also goes back kind of maybe like under promising and over delivering is kind of what it feels like, what you're alluding to with how you're dressing and the services that you're providing. Hold on, guys. We have to stop just to check the cameras. We'll be right back.
Break time.
Thank you. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Now we're back, ladies and gentlemen. Now we're back. We're back. Great intermission. We grabbed some beers. The audio wasn't recording, so we have to start. We have to start again. But that's okay because I feel like we were rambling a little bit. It was a little mixed up. So to go back,
bittersweet.
Talk to us about how you got into Danny's Barbershop ownership. Talk about, before I think we even talk about that, talk about before when you were working in barbershops, you didn't own anything yet. And then you made the jump from working at a barbershop that you did not own into your single barbershop studio. Was it scary? Did you feel ready? Did you not feel ready? Was there something that kind of was the push to shove moment that made you, you know, swim on your own, as they say, float on your own?
Yeah. Yeah, I think the shop that I was currently working at, I think I don't know if plateaued is the word, but I definitely got to a point where I was like, is this it? You know, I loved the shop and I could have been okay with working there forever because it was a good vibe in there and you would dress nice and it was pretty busy barbershop. But I think I just got to a point where I didn't know if that was like sufficient for me. I just felt like, okay, I'm killing it, I'm making good money, but don't you want to own something? And then that's when I heard about the studios, and then I just want to go, you know, do a little investigating and asking questions, crunch some numbers, and I was like, shit, like I could potentially get this done.
Yeah.
But I was super fucking nervous, I'm not gonna lie, because like I said, it was indoors. There was no foot traffic. Nobody could see that a barber's inside unless they found me on Instagram. So I knew that going into that, I was going to have to go full force, like make reels. And I had never made reels before that. Actually, I lied. I did make reels.
No, you had.
I did make reels, but voiceovers, I should say.
Okay. Still a reel, but yeah.
Yeah, true. But backing up a little bit, so I think I was just kind of like, okay, what am I going to do? And then I shit you not, that day I sat in my car and I was like, I don't know a lot of local barbers that are sponsored. Mm-hmm. And I love Johnny B. Shout out Johnny B. They're not local, but they're from Los Angeles. They've been around since like, I don't know, 1990 or something like that. Don't fact check me. Don't come at me. But yeah, I reached out to them and I was just like, hey, do you guys do any sponsorships? Or like, I think I worded it like, I really like you guys' brand and everything, and I'd like to work for them if there's any type of opportunity.
Should we do a round of applause for Johnny B real quick?
Hell yeah. deserve that shit.
There you go. Shout out Johnny B one time.
Shout out Johnny B. Yeah, so I reached out to them, and yeah, they pretty much looked at my social media and everything, and they're like, hey, like, we don't have like a payroll position, but like, we'd love to sponsor you. And that's when I think I had a little turning point where I was like, there's more to this. Like, it's like, yeah, I'm making money, I'm making clientele, but I just, like I said, I just felt like I was like, what else can I do with barbering? I feel like just cutting hair is just the tip of the iceberg. You can get paid to make videos to cut hair. You can, there's just a lot of things that you can do that is within the industry.
Yeah.
So whatever, I got a sponsorship, didn't really think much of it. Then I started looking around for, you know, just kind of other opportunities to see if there was any other shop out there I could learn from. Because once again, every shop that I worked at, I definitely took something, you know. Because I think I want to say I worked at a little bit of everything, like high end, you know, like your local neighborhood barbershop, and like more of like a modern barbershop. And so I saw this sweet opportunity, you know, I took it, and I kind of just tried to incorporate a little bit of all of that. Man, bro, I love that era. It lasted probably about 2 years.
I'm not gonna lie, that's when I realized to the extent of your business. I was like, damn, this dude could afford to go no walk-in traffic, literally cannot see the suite from the street. There's zero chance that you're gonna get any walk-ins unless you are doing some sort of online marketing. And once I saw you do that, I was like, wow, that's pretty remarkable, like pretty impressive. Regardless if it's someone selling insurance, cutting hair, a restaurant, to be somewhere where no one can physically see you from the street. It's not per se a really popular area. It's kind of...
It's dying down.
It's nice.
It was lit.
Yeah, it was nice back in the day, but it's dying down. People don't go there. People don't frequent that spot. All the higher end spots that were there at one point, they're not there anymore.
Yeah.
So that's for me when I realized the business that you had built out for yourself. That's when I was like, wow, that's pretty impressive what he's managed to do.
Yeah, and it made me appreciate how far I've come, because once again, I felt like it made me feel like when I was a rookie, like when I quit that full-time job to commit to barbering, I was kind of like, dang, I'm completely cutting out walk-ins. Like before, I'd have my clients, and then now if I'm not busy, maybe we'll get a walk-in, I'll get a phone call. But now it was like, okay, well, am I going to start handing out my personal cell phone number? I said no. So I did, I made one of those like Google numbers. So it's like a fake, not a fake number, but it's just a business line that they call, and they screen you, and, you know, that helped. Instagram. And then at that point, I already had Johnny B sponsoring me, and I had their platform to kind of go off. So, you know, to have monthly meetings with them to motivate me, learn about the products, ship me stuff. So it was like, I was becoming more motivated. I was like, shit, like they believe in me. And obviously it's a mutual thing, right? They're sending me some stuff for me to do some videos for them, but still, once again, they're using me on their platform to sell their product.
Oh yeah.
So,
which in turn kind of pushed you to make content.
Yeah,
like, stuff like that.
Yeah, pushed me to do content. That's why I was saying, like, I did my first voiceover. But you're right, it's still a reel. I was already making reels before, and I had a dope vibe, man. I had a lot of plants in there. It was cool, bro. It was super sick. Like, for anyone that was fortunate enough to see that location, that space. Yeah,
like,
shout out everybody that came to the suite.
Hey, drop a little beat on.
Hey. Cheers to you guys for that, because couldn't have done it without you guys.
Yeah, no, that was great.
It was such a sick moment in life, man. I mean, don't get me wrong. It could be stressful at times, because I can't be telling you I was killing it all the time. You know, there's the good and the bad in every industry, and it got, to say the least, it got stressful a little bit, you know, because I was there close to 2 years, so it's not
quick too.
It happened so quick.
Quick 2 years.
Yeah, so there was I knew the moments that were coming, like January, February normally slow down, but once again that's also just depending on you, how many
Yeah.
clients you have, and once again I was marketing, I was doing all that good stuff, and I had the local local like my suite mates, I
Yeah,
guess.
yeah,
They I'd give them business cards, or like we would put each other on. You're looking for somebody that does nails, oh there's Kimmy down the street, shout out Kimmy.
yeah.
Or just people that do color or just different things, and so we're just we call it a fishbowl because you walk in and it was just a square, you could see everybody. So yeah, so I did that for a little bit, and then it was super fun. Like I said, I wish I could go kind of back to that. Honestly, it was just
I was just talking about this with Alyssa the other day, and I was saying I feel like in the moments that, feel free to really tighten it, like squeeze it.
Yeah.
Feel free to tighten it. But I feel like in the moments that you will one day look back on as like the good old times, I feel like you don't get enough to sit in the moment and be like, man, these are gonna be the good old times, But yeah.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. So that was super fun, and like I said, stressful a little bit. Nothing. If it was easy, everybody would do it. You'd have a gang of fucking barbers doing that shit, and like it. And you know what the big thing about business is too, man? You have to. If you're comfortable, you are not growing. If you're comfortable in your routine at work, you're not growing. There's no ambition. There's no. And that made me hella uncomfortable, but in a good way. Like I was ready to do it, and I was committed, and I was like, it's not if I'm gonna make it, like I know I'm gonna make it.
Yeah.
Like I knew, like, bro, I was going to my local like Starbucks in the same plaza, like, hey, putting up business cards, talking to the employees there, going to Bristol Farms, talking to people there, shaking people's hands. Sometimes if I was slow, I was literally by appointment only. So.
Yeah.
That was kind of nice too, because it gave me more freedom, right? It gave me more freedom. I was able to upsell a little bit because it was private. It was just a whole different experience at that point.
Yeah. 100%.
So that was my leverage. I was charging a little bit more,
Private.
but I knew that I couldn't be at $100. I was like, I'm not gonna be that stupid and try to be like, oh, I'm that good. And it's not that I wasn't that good. It was just $100.
It's pretty steep.
It's pretty steep. So
It's pretty steep.
So yeah, that was pretty cool while it lasted. And honestly, bro, another cool part is having like my fridge that I have in here was from the suite. Funny enough, shout out my boy D Blaze again. He was one of the homies that was like super upset that I was gonna close. Like, bro, this is fucking cool, this and that.
It felt like a hangout, bro. It felt like a like a little hangout, bro.
It was so cool, and he's like, "Let me buy your fridge," and I was like, "What?" He's like, "Let me buy it, man. Like, I just want like a little piece of your shop," and I was like,
Is it?
all right. Like I was at that point, I was starting to outgrow my suite. That's when I started looking around for another empty lot, I guess, to open. Like I was gonna start fresh, open up my own barbershop.
Yeah.
Didn't know where and so I ended up selling him the fridge. He's like, I'll give you this much, but all the bottles of alcohol on top too. And I was like, bro, like what? But it's the boy, so I was like, I picked out the bottles that like my favorites. So I was like, I'm gonna keep these, but you can have those bottles and what's in the fridge, and then anyway, so moving on, we'll get back to the fridge later. I sold it to him, and then I wasn't thinking of selling anything else either. I didn't sell anything else actually. So then I started looking around. I would hit you up. I would hit up other friends and family. Hey, if there's anything that you see open out there, let me know. Anyway, to make the long story short, I found this open suite right behind Marshall's in between Libero Theater. That was 567 square feet.
To clarify for the locals, it was in between Libero Theater, like you said, and Marshall's
the old Borders. If you know, you know.
If you know, you know. Yeah, but and also a great location. So now, just to align people, if you will, if they lost us throughout the conversation somewhere, this is now you're at your single suite, but you're looking to move. Is that right?
Yeah.
You're just exploring options
Yeah. I felt like I just got to a point where
at the suite.
I felt like I went through that phase of like, all right, I'm going in with just my clientele book. And then I got clients from that business, you know, that, oh, I heard from this guy that, you know, you did a great job, this and that. And I just got to a point where I was like, okay, I looked at my finances. I was like, you know what? I think I can open something bigger and just scale my business, you know? From there, I found this spot, and honestly, man, they were being a little sus.
Your initial suite? Oh no, the one that you applied to.
Yeah.
That one was weird.
They were just being like,
Actually, yeah, but yeah.
choo choo.
Choo choo. Hey, you know what? We're back. All right. Yeah, they were just being a little strange.
Yeah, they were being a little strange because if I was a dumbass, to say the least, I would have been in there, and they probably would have done some. No, I can't say that, guy. I gotta chill. I gotta chill out.
No, that's
it just wouldn't have been a good. It wouldn't have been a good turnout, man. It took them 2 days to type up this lease agreement, but they wanted me to sign it and send it back right away. Like, call me. I hired a lawyer to review it. I used ChatGPT as well. And then I read that shit like 3 times, and I was like, and ChatGPT and my lawyer and myself, all 3 of us at some point looked at the same thing and some different things. And then anyway, so I went to a buddy's barbershop that he was working at, and that
should we say it or no? How do you feel? I can redact it if you regret it later.
No, we can say it. Yeah, we haven't been name dropping, but we can say it.
I was gonna go ahead.
What? Say it.
All right, go ahead.
Yeah, so then just in case that place didn't work out, I worked up a deal with the suite that I was at, and I was able to get, I think they gave me 3 weeks off.
Oh, wow. No rent.
Oh, sorry, for free rent. Yeah, free rent. Started looking around, and then I was like, well, in case that spot, and this is after I found the downtown spot.
Okay.
When I talked to them, and they're like, we can offer you 3 weeks for free for your moving, blah, blah, blah.
This is the suite that you're in is offering
at that time, yes.
Okay, it's 3 weeks. They're offering you 3 weeks.
They offered me 3 weeks, and so I took advantage, and then I was like so close to signing that lease agreement downtown. But something didn't feel right. I was asking good questions.
Well, let's specify, since we have time and the people listening want to know. The few things from my understanding that didn't immediately make you accept is that it wasn't out of the box per se. It didn't have a sink. It didn't have. I mean, it had.
Yeah, it was empty. I wasn't gonna open up a shop.
It was vanilla, what we call vanilla.
Vanilla.
Yeah, it was vanilla. It was white walls, tile floors, and that was it. If you wanted plumbing or a sink,
but whatever.
Yeah, if you wanted a sink, we had to rip out the drywall and do plumbing.
No, yeah.
Which it wasn't on your dime, but still, it was like a month. That was a month, and then if you wanted this, that was we had. So you weren't able to move right away if you wanted to.
Yeah. Thanks for elaborating on that, because it was like, once again, I outgrew my business. I pretty much
shout out to outgrowing your business. We're back.
Yeah. So
you outgrew your business.
So I outgrew my business. I started looking around. Once I found that spot, I was like, all right, cool. Like,
also prime location. If that was in your cards, that also would have been a prime location.
It was prime location, but if you know, you know.
If you know, you know.
Owning a business in the middle of Santa Barbara downtown, they are as fuck about, or
maybe
HOAs.
We should use a different choice of words there. So let's just.
They're just, I don't know, you can call it an HOA. They're just really picky on
I like that. I like
what
that.
you put.
They're HOA about it.
Oh, this building's old. So you like, because I was like, how can I advertise my business? Can I put a barber pole outside? No, the business is old. You can't do that. Bam, 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 bam.
Go ahead. Say something else I didn't like so I can hit this again.
They didn't want me to put my barbershop name on the outside.
Nah. Hit me with something else. One more thing. I want to hit this again. They were going to take a month because they needed
I couldn't advertise like this board that I have out there. I couldn't advertise on the street. And the street's public.
What's your address right now?
3337 State Street. And we're
Whenever
back.
you're ready.
Yeah, so it took them 2 days to type that up. They sent it back, and they were pushing like within 24 hours. Can you sign it today and send it back? Mind you, if you've never opened up a business before or looked into it, they check your credit, they check your finances, right? Last 3 years of income, last 3 months of income. Those are huge. These guys didn't even do any of that. They would just like sign the paperwork, which
Weird.
If you're in a bad situation and like you're not going to look good on paper, it's a good thing for you. But for me, I was just kind of like, there's other things that I have questions about my business in order for me to flourish, you know?
Right.
And there's other businesses there that are doing a great job, but I'm like, I don't know.
Didn't feel right.
It just didn't feel right. So anyway, I want to go visit my buddy Junior. Shout out Junior.
Shout out to Junior. Hey.
That homie's.
If you know, you know.
If you know, you know. I don't even gotta talk about boy. He already knows. But
Shout out Junior.
shout out to Palms. He was working at the Palms with Jesse, man. That homie's an OG. So that's why when I get
Jesse.
called an OG, they're OGs. Like there's OG. Like what are they? You know, they've been doing this shit forever. Especially him. He's a OG times 3 in the game.
Junior or Jesse?
Jesse.
Jesse.
So he's the owner of Palms. I haven't really shouted him out like this, honestly. Nobody really knows, but he's the one that put me on and was like, hey, like if you're looking for a chair, go talk to Jonathan at Danny's Barbershop. I walked in. It's a 4-chair barbershop, 1 chair open. He's like, call me after 3. You know, I came up with Little Easy. And
So just to clarify, this is now where
Danny's Barbershop.
we're going from the studio. We're looking for a new location.
Yes.
And Danny's Barbershop is a...
Found a location, felt weird about it. Looking for a plan B, which is just to have a chair to still work from because I have clients to take care of.
Okay.
So, and once again, and this is also where it ties into the way you present yourself is key. I mean, I always dress with a collared shirt, and I dress presentable.
Well, I think it's only right to start this same way we've ended this, ladies and gentlemen. It's been a pleasure. Thank you so much. Thank you for being willing to do this. Thank you for opening up your doors to us. Ladies and gentlemen, again, entrepreneur, barber,
Don't go.
no plan B, just a son on the way and a dream. He called me one day and said, bro, guess what? Guess what? And I said, what? And he said, I'ma go get it now! Woo! Let's go, baby! Congratulations, Danny's Barbershop, the best haircut you could get anywhere! Woo!
And we out, baby.
Go.
Here, use this.